What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Raf Garay and I coach other coaches how to build a successful business. And I've been doing this for a little over 8 years now. But if you are someone that wants to start a coaching business and you've been thinking about it for a while now, this is for you. I want to tell you about this conversation that I had with myself before I ever started. Now, I felt so called to be a coach. And because I had this urge to want to help people, I started studying the coaching industry. I would go to master classes and I would read books and even got some courses, but it never really went anywhere. Anytime somebody asked me, hey, how's that business you've been planning? Or how's coaching? Or are you coaching people yet? I would just say a phrase that I do not like to say anymore. I'm working on it. And let me bring you back a little bit. Before coaching, what was I actually doing? I actually had a really good career. I worked in New York City at one of the top ad agencies in the world. Had really good income, had a great girl, had a great house, nice car. On paper, you could say I was successful. But on the inside, I was actually broken fulfillment. And all of this preparation that I was doing always led me to some other excuse that held me back. I used to think that I needed more status before I started my coaching business. Status in the sense that maybe if I climb higher up the corporate ladder, people will listen to me more. Or I'm really busy, now's not the time. I got a lot going on at work. In a few months when things die down, maybe I'll start then. The reality is I'm not someone who can look into the future. And if you're anything like me, any given year, there's usually something that happens that's unplanned in your life that kind of pushes you in one direction or another. So saying I'm going to wait 3 months and things are going to be perfect, well, I just deep down knew that wasn't true. But the story that I was telling myself, it felt intelligent, felt logical. Like, I'm busy right now. Now's not the time. I need a little bit more status. I need to study a little bit more. Looking back, now that I've been in this industry for some time, I realized that those stories made zero sense. Planning equals safe progress. I wasn't building, I was planning. I was watching the courses, I was taking notes, I was tweaking my concepts, going back and forth with what my niche was going to be. And in my mind, I just kept telling myself, I'm getting a little bit closer. And planning felt productive, but what it really did was it kept me safe. So why is it that we want something and we just hold ourselves back? Well, my coach used to have a good saying that I think sums it all up. Your brain is designed to keep you safe and not happy. So the moment you try to do something radically different with your life, your brain says, whoa, no. We just got to stay over here. So even though I really didn't like my corporate job, it was actually eating me alive on the inside, my brain just said that was the place to be. It was safe. It was predictable. Our brain will prevent us from stepping out into the unknown. So I kept saying, I need more clarity and I need more this and I need more that. What if my niche is wrong? What if I fail? What if nobody buys? And that was a really good way to keep myself safe. Now I understand that if I'm not moving forward, that I'm just keeping myself in the life that I'm trying to move away from. The reality was that I just didn't know the game. It makes sense when you haven't built a coaching business that I need to get my niche right. I need to get my program perfect. It sounds right if you don't really understand. It only made sense because I really didn't know how coaching businesses were actually built, despite all of the information that I was consuming. I would think, well, I need the clarity, and then once I have clarity, I will have confidence, and then once I have confidence, I can perfect what I'm doing. But now that I've been around a lot of successful coaches, I'm a successful coach myself, I always can go back and say, I should have launched sooner, because the best coaches I know, they just go. They launch messy and they figure it out on the way. Clarity doesn't come from the sidelines. You can't really see the game clearly unless you're actually on the field. Momentum is what creates clarity, not the other way around. And not momentum as in you're planning, I have Google Docs, I'm learning from other people, I'm following people. It comes when you actually make a post or an email and you tell people, this is the program, this is the problem I solve, this is how I can help you. So I had a coach. I finally, after failing so many times, decided to get a coach, because I'm failing to launch. I'm failing to put together a perfect program, even though there isn't a perfect program. But my coach told me that I was hiding behind preparation, and that if I really wanted to leave my corporate job and become an entrepreneur, then I had to actually put something out there. And I resisted it. My brain fought it. But despite all the excuses, I decided to finally take the leap and bet on myself and take a shot at something that had been in my heart for so long. We call it taking messy action. I launched this business way before I felt ready, and it wasn't perfect at all. I made videos that are still on YouTube. Go look through my channel. You can see some of my old posts, and I keep them there on purpose so I can look back and see how far I've come. And I failed a lot at first. I failed a lot. Like, I fell on my face so many times. But one failed launch or one bad experience with a client doesn't mean that you can't build a business. Because I know so many people that say, well, I tried and it didn't work. Well, it didn't work for me either when I first started. But I went from making my first post ever, talking about my business, not making a single dollar, to creating a very successful business, leaving my corporate job, and then going on to build businesses and speak on stage with some of the biggest coaches and consultants in the world. I was lucky enough to partner up with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and built programs for them. None of that would have happened if I would have stayed on the sidelines. So where does clarity? Where did the clarity actually come from? Clarity showed up after I started. It showed up from real-time feedback. When I started making posts and running my program, and something would break and I would adjust it in real time. All the preparation in the world won't prepare you for what happens when you get started. It's almost like going to college and you're studying one major your entire college career. You show up day one in the office for your first job and you have to learn all over again, because it doesn't truly prepare you for what happens when you get in the game. But it's not scary, it's actually fun. It's more fun to move forward in something that you're passionate about than it is to stand on the sidelines and think about what it could be one day when you decide that you want to move. And I'm going to be really vulnerable. I was just in a major car accident 2 months ago. I'm still healing as we speak. We were hit by a drunk driver in our car. We, meaning my wife and I, we flipped 3 times. I ended up getting put in a medically induced coma. I had 3 surgeries. My wife broke both of her legs. She had to get surgery. And when I woke up, I said to myself, wow, that could have been it. And if it was it, one thing that I can look back on is the fact that I actually went for my dream. And that's one thing that I would not regret had I died in that accident. I have an amazing life now. I run a successful coaching business. I get to help people. I have an impact. I was able to leave my corporate career. My wife left her job. We moved across the country just because we could, just because I could work from anywhere and work with some amazing people. And none of that would have existed if I kept waiting. I want you to think about what life could be if you stop waiting and you get in the game. And maybe coaching isn't going to be your full-time thing. Maybe it's just a part-time thing that you do on the side. And that's fine too. But if you're watching this video and you've made it this far, it's because something inside of you is saying that you really want this. You really want to be a coach. And I almost let my dream die. I almost let it die because I was afraid. That was the reality. I had excuses. I'm busy. Now it's not the time. I need more clarity. I got to figure out my niche first. But the truth was, deep down, it was just fear. And some of you watching this are still planning. You are still planning. Some of you are still saying, I'm working on it. And at some point, you have to decide who you are. Who are you? Are you someone who thinks about it? Or are you somebody who actually builds it? Are you someone who keeps preparing? Or are you someone that's bold enough to take the idea that's inside you and bring it out to the world in a real way? There's no right time. I can tell you from my own experience, from working with people in this industry that have made hundreds of millions of dollars, they all tell me the same thing. They started messy before they were ready, when it wasn't the right time, when life was literally telling them, it's not a good time to do this. There's never going to be a time where everything clicks. There's just the time that you decide that you're going to move. You become ready when you're in motion. And you will climb the mountain, and then you're going to set another goal, and you're not going to be ready to go after it. But because you've overcome that first hurdle, because you've started and your business is going, when it comes time to scale, you already know that you can do hard things. I just wanted, just for a moment, to share my experience, because I've coached thousands of people and I've talked to so many that want to do it, but won't for one reason or another. And if it's not that important to you, then it's not a big deal. Just forget about it. But if you've thought about it more than once, for more than a month, more than a few years, and you haven't made it real yet, then you owe it to yourself to get moving. I learned the hard way that life will hit you hard sometimes. I am lucky that I'm even alive right now. And I'm even more grateful that I decided to take a chance on myself. And that's what I want for everyone that's out there that has a unique gift that they want to put out into the world. You don't know if it's going to work. You don't know if it's the right time. You don't know if it's the right niche. You don't really know anything until you jump in the water and start swimming. And if you are serious, the next step is really simple. No more planning, no more taking notes. Put it out there. Start before you're ready, start messy, and finish strong. And if you are interested in seeing how myself or my team can help you start and launch your business, click the link down below, book a call with us. We'd love to be able to help you out. At the very least, we can at least point you in the right direction so you can stop planning and start moving. See you at the top.